Good morning, all, and welcome to reachHIRE Presents Return to Work with Schneider Electric. We're happy to be back. We have a very exciting event in store for you guys today. We have a great partner in Schneider Electric, and this is our second cohort that we're having with this client, and it's going to be starting in January 2023. I do want to go over some housekeeping. It's always good for those of us, since I see a couple of us, so this is their first event with us and with Hoppin. If you look on one of the sides here, you'll see a chat. The chat function is broken down by session and by event. You'll be able to also look at your agenda. This has kind of what we have moving forward throughout the event. We have the chat. Inside the chat function, we will also be showing some polls. I do ask if anybody has any questions to please use the QA function. You'll see it at the top of the chat bar there. You can ask a question and a member of the reachHIRE team will get back to you right away. We also have the Expo booth open, and I wanted to make sure we were able to address that. We will have an Expo booth open the entirety of this event. Now, we have some great topics, some great sessions, some great things going on during the event, but if there is an opportunity, or if you'd like to inquire more about the roles that we have, our Expo booth, and you should see it, I believe it's on the left or right of me, you'll see Expo. You click on that and you'll see that we have Candace Aldridge, our senior recruiter, is waiting there to answer all of your questions. We have some great opportunities with our Schneider Electric Return to Work program. They're in office, some are remote. The roles include sales representatives, tech support, program management, marketing, software engineering, customer support, and much more. Just to give you guys an idea of what today is going to look like, and then I'll get out of here, let you guys visit the Expo before our next session that starts at 12:10. At 12:10, we have our program manager, Amanda, joining Maylon, the Senior VP of Human Resources for North America, to discuss our amazing partnership. We are mid-recruitment on our second Schneider Return to Work program, so we're going to discuss, we'll be discussing that during session 1. During session 2, Amanda will then join Sri, a member of our first Schneider Electric cohort, and they will reflect on the experience of getting back to work and the overall cohort experience. I want to set a little bit of a reminder as well. If you take your mouse and you scroll over my face and you scroll downward or upward, depending on how your mouse is set up, you'll see all of our links. And in there, you'll be able to see more about the Schneider Electric Return to Work program. It'll take you straight to our landing page. You can learn more about all of the returnship opportunities we have at reachHIRE. You'll be able to see all of our socials, so please follow us on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And you'll also learn more about Schneider Electric. So feel free to scroll down, take a look at some of these links we provided, and then we should get this show started in about 5 to 6 minutes. Over at the next session. So you'll see the section area. Once you click in there, in about 1 minute or so, the next session will be available to go in there. Once you guys are in there, we'll wait. At 12:10, we're going to get started with session 1. In the meantime, if you guys want to jump into the Expo booth, there's a fun little video on Schneider Electric, as well as Candace Aldridge, our recruiter, in there. They're available to take any questions you guys have, as well as the ability to apply directly to the roles that we currently have and the opportunities that we have available. So I'm really excited about today's event. I'm going to go ahead and back out and get to the next session. I hope to see you guys all in the next session and visiting that Expo booth. Thank you so much. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started a little bit. So I just want to welcome everybody again to today's session. We have on the right-hand side or the left-hand side, depending on how your Hoppin is set up, we've got the chat, we've got the polls, we've got some Q&A. Please keep all Q&A to the Q&A function. We have our team here monitoring that. We're going to have a wonderful time today discussing the Schneider Electric Return to Work program. If you have an opportunity, you scroll over the videos here. Remember, we have all of our links located in the bottom. We have links to the Schneider Electric Return to Work program. We have all of the platforms to follow us on. We have our jobs page. We also have a lot of information about Schneider Electric. It is my pleasure at 12:10 to officially introduce Amanda, our program manager. She was the program manager for our first cohort with Schneider Electric and is very excited to start our second one coming up this January 2023. I also have the honor to introduce Vice President of Human Resources for North America, Meilhan, to discuss Schneider's perspective on the Return to Work program. Guys, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Justin, for the introduction. And I first, too, want to welcome everyone for taking time out of the day to join us. I'm really excited to be here with Meilhan to talk to you a bit more about Schneider Electric and this really exciting Return to Work program. But before we get started, I just want to say a warm welcome to Meilhan and a huge thank you for taking time to be with me and all of us here today. And even more importantly, for your support of this really important program. So thank you and welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, awesome.
I'm so excited.
Well, we're excited to have you. And again, our audience, I know, can learn so much from this conversation. So to get us started, I would love if you could just tell us a bit about Schneider Electric.
Yeah. So I'm a lifer at Schneider, right? So I started there. I was an intern and I've never left it. It's been 17 years that I've been there. So it tells a lot about, my love for this company, my interest for this company and what they do. And if I can summarize it pretty simply, I think, our motto is we bring and we do make sure that life is on everywhere at every moment. And what it means is that we do see ourselves as the technological partner of many organizations, clients, cities, infrastructure across the world. And we make sure that we help them manage their energy. So we don't produce the energy, but everything else we do. And it's a big company, global company. One thing that is very specific about us is we're also the most local of global company. So if you join this company, you will feel like, the country approach and how we do implement or try to make sure that our value proposition is day in, day out, how we experience the purpose of the company is always on and very, very specific to where you live. So we have a culture that's, what has kept me at Schneider. I do think that it's a kind culture. It's a culture of a lot of inclusivity. We are also pretty diverse. So I know that, by essence, when we talk about returnship, a lot of the people who are considering such initiative are female. Look at the top of our company, 50% female, more than 30% women in top leadership roles in North America. So we're very proud of how diverse we are. And it also talks a lot about our inclusivity.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. And I do have to just want to piggyback on your comment, how you said how you've been a lifer there. I've gotten to get to know more Schneider people throughout working on this program. And I feel like everyone I encounter has been there forever, which again, you don't see a lot these days. And just says so much about the organization and the culture.
Yeah. And I think it's because people stay because we have that mindset of always experimenting and doing new things, like returnship, right? So the whole idea is that, people don't stay because it's static. It's actually because we're quite resilient. And I think this company is evolving with the time and we're ahead of the curve, right? We're trying to help the planet be a better place for our kids, the kids of our kids. And I think this is something that really animates all of us at Schneider Electric.
So powerful. And again, just on that, you being different and, kind of being pioneers in certain things. I do think the returnship being a perfect example of that. Not many, as you know, and many people know here, a lot of people don't even know what a returnship is. There aren't many companies doing it. And in fact, people with career breaks, and I'm speaking as someone who had a career break myself, it's a very daunting idea of returning to the workforce. And we've often faced a lot of rejection or been overlooked because of our career break. So can you tell us a bit about why Schneider is different and wanting to run these programs and bring people with career breaks into your organization?
Sure. Well, and first, something that I want to acknowledge is, how brave the people who are on that call are to actually take that step to consider being a returner and consider, okay, I want to go back to work and I want to go back, I want to start again. I think it takes a lot of courage, and I commend everyone. That idea is not mine, right? I have amazing people in my team, especially, one that's close to me there. And I think, we wanted to diversify our channel of how we look at talent. If you read the news, you can see that, talent are scarce, right? So we're all competing to hire people who are going to help us transform, help us be more digital, help us answer the big problems that our customers have. And when we looked at returnship, we felt like it was a great opportunity to actually tap into a pipeline of talent that was completely overlooked, right? And there's many reasons why people decide at one point to leave the workforce, and all those reasons are very valid. And I have people who have returned to work as well after a break, and I just value their perspective. I think there's lots of things that people do when they're not at work that develop their skills that they learn. And I think the magic of returnship programs is how do you bridge that and how do you connect the dots so the people who are actually considering going back to the workforce can understand how what they've done out of the company is actually transferable into the world of work again. Believe me, there's lots of skills that as a mom I have developed myself, that I see that I use every day in my job, right? To be efficient, to impact, and so on. And I think that's what I think is the power of such initiative. So a way for us to attract talent that are overlooked, that in my opinion extremely have a lot of runway and a lot to give, right? A lot of passion. And we've seen that in the experiment and our first cohort. So that's why we're here again and launching our second cohort. So it's working.
Well, thank you again. I appreciate that perspective because I feel like a lot of returners can feel like after taking a break, they don't have anything to bring or it's so outdated. But what I learned from my own experience and what I'm constantly reminding returners is you have developed and almost taken some of your skills to another level. And skills like being able to pivot and be flexible and problem solve, those are extremely valuable skills that I know our returners in the first cohort were like, it's amazing. Like these are things I can do and they're valuable and I'm using them. So I appreciate you highlighting that.
Definitely.
So the other thing I just wanted to ask is, again, Schneider does, has been an amazing partner to reachHIRE in all that you've done in supporting this program. So I'd love to know, kind of from your perspective, what benefits do you think has brought to this experience by, working with a company like reachHIRE?
Yeah. Well, I think, again, this was an experiment, right? So in the spirit of looking at people and organizations who do that really well and have expertise, I think we wanted to, right from the batch, partner with organizations like reachHIRE that would help us, be successful. One thing that we realize is that you can learn technical skills, right? Our company, we have millions of training and, jobs where we were very confident that we would be able to help the people on board into the job. But I think what reachHIRE has brought is that whole onboarding experience as well of providing that level of support on the soft skills side of it, right? So to your point of, if you have been out of work for any reason and you've been involved in volunteering or you've, taken care of your family and all of that, how do you think about that and how do you translate that into what is the skill I have developed and how does that apply in the workplace? And I think having that partnership allows the people who are on the cohort to actually create that community, have that safe place where they can actually ask questions or share their experiences, bounce ideas, and then, adjust as they go into the company. So we do offer the job, the technical environment, the training on the job. You guys offer, great expertise. You actually hire for us the best talent that we can. The onboarding and the soft skills development, if I may say so. We do also, maybe anticipating one of the questions you may have, one of the things that was very important with the first cohort was to learn from them, right? So we've listened to their feedback into the second cohort. So we do hope that the second edition will be even better than the first one. So that's our hope.
Yeah, I would love to hear more about that in this conversation as well. And yeah, again, thank you for sharing all that. And I do, want to point out that confidence can be one of the biggest obstacles that people returning, sometimes learning those technical skills, right? We can easily go through the training, but sometimes working through that confidence, the lack of, and can I do this? And we partner with reacHIRE to remind them they can, and we are going to support them together along that way. So you alluded to, again, this second cohort, and I know I'm thrilled. It is amazing to work with everyone at Schneider and the cohort through this first program, and I'm thrilled that it was successful, and we're going to have a second one. So I'd love to hear a little bit from you of your perspective of how, just what the journey's been like up to this point, and also what returners could expect in this second program.
So our first cohort was small, like I think we had 8 returners, but I think, there's a lot of value in starting small, learning from it. My opinion, it's a very high touch program. So that's why we're not like scaling it so fast, because we want people to be successful. As you said, it's not an easy decision. People need to build the confidence of it. So the fact that it's smaller makes it high touch. And that's what I love about it. Going into the second batch, we will be offering around 30 roles, so it's tripling. So it's a lot more, and we will be enhancing a lot what we call our onboarding experience. So it was already pretty good, but let me give you an example. I think when we hired our first cohort, we invited them for a week in our Nashville office, one of our most beautiful hubs, to spend the week there. So I know it's a lot, right? You have to spend 5 days, but I think it's an investment that really helped create that sense of belonging, the connections, the face-to-face interaction with the managers and the HR teams and the participants. We do have a buddy system, so you have a manager, but you also have a buddy that you can connect with. That he's your peer coach, your mentor, the person that you can go and ask the silly questions, which usually are not really silly, by the way. We say that, but there's no silly question at all. And we will be also make sure that we provide, additional training if needed to the people who are joining us. So there's a lot more details as we are building it. Like, the teams are actually working on it. And a lot also will be adjusted as we go once we hire the people that will be our returners for the edition of 2023.
Yeah, thank you for sharing all that. And I think part of the benefit as we go into this second program, we have all the lessons learned, but we also have this great cohort who's been through it. So it's almost like they're our best resources right now to utilize from, both a reacHIRE perspective and from a Schneider perspective of, what can we be doing better? And it also shows both of our desires of how can we keep improving, right? Because we want to keep making it the best experience that we can be. So again, thank you for touching upon that. And also, I just too wanted to add about the buddy. It really was very impactful, I think, for a lot of the returners to have someone on the ground in addition to their manager that really was someone they could go to at any time. So I think that was a great part of the support structure that you all had put in place.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I just have one other thing. So I know we've, as we wrap up here, I know we only have a few minutes left, but I did want to, share a little bit of the feedback. Again, that first cohort, they were full of gratitude for this opportunity, and really because it was providing them an opportunity that they may not have gotten otherwise, or many of them even in the mindset of, I may never have a career again. but we provided them this opportunity. And so not only were they grateful, but we heard from many of them, it truly changed their life. And, for me, I hear this and it never gets old. It always is so moving to me. And I would just love to get your thoughts and feedback in hearing that.
Well, it makes my day, right? I think, knowing that what we do can change lives, um, kind of makes it all worth it, right? So, it wasn't an easy process to sell that to our business, to convince them to make the business case, but we had open mind and leaders who really can see the value of it. And fast forward more than a year later, when I see myself here and promoting that program, I'm extremely proud, right? So I feel like we gave a purpose to the people who join us and who decided to intern and stay with us. And Schneider is all about meaningful purpose. Again, I said it at the beginning, our job is to help that planet, sustain its future. And we all build that every day with small steps. And I do believe that people who are out of the workforce today, out of the workplace, who wants to come back, have to consider a company like ours to do that. And you guys are more than welcome to apply. And I'm sure you'll have an amazing experience. So it makes our day. I think it makes it all worth it to be able to give that confidence back to the people and let them thrive the way they've thrived in the past. They've thrived in between, in their own way, right? So we want people to be their authentic selves and bring the diversity of their experience, wherever it was, into our company.
Melan, so beautifully said. I couldn't have said it better. Very powerful. It just makes me feel very grateful to have partners like Schneider Electric who really see the value of this program, of the returners, and all that they can bring. So, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart as a reachHIRE program manager, as a returner myself, for all that you've done for this program and for sharing your insights today.
It was a pleasure to be with everyone, and I look forward to welcoming our returners in January.
Yes. Awesome. Maybe we will be seeing you at the welcome.
Yeah, definitely.
Awesome. Well, thank you again so much.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much. That was an awesome session. You guys are terrific. So now we have a little bit of time between now and the next session that starts. So everybody that's in this session, you can make your way to either the expo booth or feel free to get ready. The next session should be open now. So go ahead and jump in there. Thank you guys again for wonderful guest speakers. And thank you all for keeping those questions coming. We have all of our roles located in that expo booth. And we look forward to seeing you in the next session. Thank you so much.
I will look forward to seeing everyone over at the next session. Thank you again, Melan.
Take care.
Thank you for your patience. And Shri, welcome. I'm so excited to be here with you and have this conversation. And, just to give some background to everyone, Shri was part of our first cohort with Schneider Electric. I had the absolute pleasure of getting to know her very well over her 6-month journey. So I'm thrilled that she's here today to be able to tell you a little bit about her experience and just share some words of wisdom that she experienced throughout this. So to get us started, Shri, I would love if you could just give a brief intro of yourself, your role, and a little bit about your background.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you so much, Amanda, for this wonderful opportunity. It feels like a dream that I was on the other side of the road just a year back, and now I am this side, which feels fantastic. And I'm honored to be part of this first fabulous cohort. And thank you again.
You are welcome. We're thrilled to have you.
So this is Srinidhi Aditi. I'm from Austin, Texas. I have joined Schneider as a business process manager and CPO team for North America operations for Power Systems business unit. I'm an Agile certified Scrum Master professional with 10 plus years of experience in project management, testing, training, and validation. I also have a master's degree and a bachelor's degree in electrical engineering. I took an intentional pause of 4+ years to take care of my twin girls and my family. So that's a quick intro of myself.
Well, thank you for sharing that. And so yes, like many other people who take career breaks to take care of their children or other family members. But I'd love to know a little bit about what motivated you to restart your career. And if you could tell the audience a little bit about your job search journey, what was that like?
Sure. So when my daughters turned 7, that's when I decided I'm going to get back to work. So my instant reaction was like, okay, I can just go online and apply for jobs, which I did. So my first experience was definitely challenging, disappointing, that I didn't get a lot of calls and back. And I was actually being judged for the 4+ years of break that I had versus the 10+ years of experience that I have developed over the years. So definitely I didn't know, I was at some point, I felt that it was kind of impossible for me to overcome that, but I didn't know how. So then I researched more and on, okay, how can I get these tips and tricks to overcome the gap that I've got? Because that was, I figured that was the main highlight of my job search, which I was being highlighted for. So for that, the first search result that I've got was returnship and with reachHIRE. I was like, returnship, what does it mean? Because I was an intern myself when I did my master's, but I didn't know what this returnship was. So I reached out to my family and friends and asked them that, what do you mean? And they're like, do you mean internship? But why are you looking for an internship? You're not a master's or a bachelor's graduate. Why are you just looking for it? Oh, then I figured, maybe nobody knew it like me. So then I did more research and I started registering for events just exactly like this, like we're having today. And that's when I realized that returnship is a program for professionals who had a career break. So the basic requirement for the job search or for a returnee was to have a career break, which was an exact opposite thing of what I originally started for. And rest, that's my first step towards my returnship journey. That, okay, so now I have a solution. So how can I get to the next level? Yeah. Which was that, how can I stand out, right? How can I stand out among a certain set of returnees who all had experience, who all had a career break? But how do I convince my employers and recruiters that I am actually serious about it? And that's when I learned from all these great sessions with reachHIRE that certifications, right? So that's how people take you seriously, that yes, she had a break and now she's serious, and how she just did this certification. And of course that was a new search altogether, that I was like, it's going to take years for me to get a certified kind of a professional. So but then I did that Agile certification course, which is Scrum Master Professional, in 4 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
You were motivated.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So
I love, first of all, thank you for sharing. Again, it's a journey. It's not just like a one night, okay, I want to do this, I get it tomorrow, and now I have a returnship. It really is a process to sort of go through and, learn more about it. And what do I want to do to help prepare me to be ready for that? So thank you for sharing some of that. I love that you found reachHIRE through your personal search. So I'd love to know a little bit more about the interview process. What was that like for you? Because I know, again, someone who had been out, the idea of interviewing again after a very long time can be terrifying and daunting. So tell me a little bit about what that was like for you.
So it was a very it's a fabulous journey, Amanda, because once I started this process, I was extremely motivated that, okay, now I have a solution that, yes, I can, there is a possibility that I could just get back to work. And how can I upskill my break? And then when reachHIRE reached out to me saying that, okay, we could, you could apply for these kind of opportunities. The first thing that I have learned from the conversations that I had was how to own the career break that I had. So that was a game changer for me, because as soon as I kind of got that in mind, it took out all the stigma that, kind of not having a job, not having a professional full-time job out of my mind. And that's like, oh, wow. So that's just great. So how to feel not guilty about the break that we took for various different reasons, and how to own that experience, right? I felt extremely comfortable and supported in the entire process. My reachHIRE recruiters were extremely skilled to basically identifying the skill set of a returnee like me and matching it up to the job requirement. So they even encouraged me to apply for certain positions where I thought I was definitely not a potential fit. And on that note, I want to thank my reachHIRE recruiter, Sarah, who has actually trusted me. She was the first one to trust me. And I call her as a seed in my journey, that if she wouldn't have trusted me, I wouldn't have done anything that I did in the last 1 year. Yep.
Sarah is not here, but I'm going to have to be sure to pass that along to her, because that's really powerful. It's really powerful to share. And what about the interviews with Schneider as well? What was that experience like?
So when I had this interview with my hiring manager at Schneider, it was more like a conversation, Amanda, rather than an interview. At the end of the interview, the way I felt was a company like Schneider not only just values their employees, but even the candidates who wish to apply. So that was my takeaway moment after the interview, and I think that's my best interview ever that I have ever done.
Wow.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, I think that kind of talks about a lot about the company, and that actually made me more curious to learn more about their other events, their charity events that they do, like which they did during COVID, were like remarkable. So I would say when in Schneider, that's how we call, is like when life is on, you bring it on. That's how we roll at Schneider.
And you're bringing it. So I wanted, throughout this program, there was a lot of support, and we really intentionally do it that way, because we know this is, people are getting back into it after a break. And so some of the structures that reachHIRE put in place in supporting the returners are, week 1 reimmersion week, we have you come in as a cohort. So you're going through this journey with other professionals starting at Schneider at the same time you are. And then we have monthly workshops, and we also have this program manager structure where, again, I had the absolute honor of getting to be your program manager throughout that journey. So I'd love to just hear a little bit about the impact that those had, just in your overall journey and your ability to be successful.
Yeah, that's a great question, Amanda. It kind of takes me back to the last few great months I had. So it was a full package experience for me. It was a fantastic one. It's like almost having your entire support group on day one at your new job. So you always have people willing to help, to support. So as a twin mom, I'm sure most of you on the call can think about what I'm saying, that, we are so busy in taking care of our family and taking care of so many things. We kind of forget to kind of have a mirror image like that to help us see what we can or will do. So this support group kind of gave me that visibility, sometimes on a daily basis. All the monthly workshops that reacHIRE had and the Aurora platform. It's like every day I used to look for those motivational quotes that used to okay, I had this opportunity. How can I make the best out of it? And I got this. So it's just that adding an extra layer of inner strength and confidence on a daily basis.
Wow. Beautifully said. And again, I'm honored that I just got to even be a small part of that journey.
Oh, I'm just about to add that, like, you have been, if Sarah has been the seed of my journey, you've been the water, Amanda. I couldn't have done anything what I'm doing right now. And look at this, I'm even talking to you right now in this live event. So
just like one of our normal conversations, yes, right?
Exactly. So you have been, thank you for, I want to take this opportunity again for nurturing me and just being my water.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. But you did this. You did it. Well, thank you for talking a little bit about that. I'd love to hear a little bit about the support from Schneider, because again, they have a lot in place. And we talked a little bit about this with Milan as well, about the buddy. And, so I just would love to hear a little bit about the impact that those support structures had for you in your experience.
Absolutely. So Schneider leadership has given me full freedom to explore, share, and even create my own ideas. So I felt empowered throughout the process, Amanda. So when I got hired, I have this assigned mentor whom we call as Buddy, who've been my first point of contact for any help I need. So he was my navigation within the company if I had any questions on how to do, and all my questions, which could be totally silly, but my buddy, my mentor was always there, always willing to support. So I'm really blessed to have such a great team from both reacHIRE and Schneider, that I've made some great friends, great mentors, great coaches for a lifetime. So it's been absolute pleasure. And I would also like to mention about my hiring manager. So she's been a great support, and she's been coaching me ever since. So I felt and I feel empowered, and it gets better, and it's actually getting better every day. So, and if I would like to share the highlight of my
absolutely
journey, I was able to lead, design, and develop a knowledge management repository using SharePoint with no coding experience whatsoever. um, yes, and if I can add more, the cherry on the top is this itself today, having this opportunity to be able to talk and present and share my experiences with all of you here in this great platform. I would say this is one of my major
Oh,
milestones in the last 1 year. So, which I mean, where I was trying to register for events like this to know more about returnships, and here I am. So, this is also one of my highlights of the journey.
oh, Shri, thank you. Because I know, we're human. It can be a little bit overwhelming talking on these things, but you have so much wonderful wisdom and experience to share. And, I'm truly honored to have you here with us today doing that. So we have a couple minutes yet left. And my last question for you is, you have already shared so much wonderful advice and wisdom with everyone here that I know they're going to take away and remember. But do you have any other advice or words of wisdom that you want to share before we wrap up this session today?
Uh, sure. So, this is what I have learned in this journey, and I keep telling myself every day that you got this. And you've actually got you more than anyone. So just believe in yourself. If I can do it, you can do it. So I'm going to say all the best and good luck for all the returnees out there on this call. Uh, I hope this could be your first step towards your returnship journey, which I call it as happy returnship day. If so, it's been an absolute pleasure being here, and I thank you, reachHIRE and Schneider, for giving me this opportunity in meeting with you all, and most importantly, for taking time to know my journey. So thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks.
So beautifully said. Happy to end it on that beautiful note.
Oh my goodness, what a wonderful session. Thank you so much, Sri. On behalf of the entire reachHIRE family, we thank you so much for joining us today and having this wonderful conversation. As always, thank you, Amanda, for leading the charge on this. We're really excited for our next Schneider Electric cohort. Again, applications are rolling in now. Looks like around a January 23 start. Applications are open right now. Just so you all know, the expo booth is open till 1:15. So feel free to make your way from this session, head over to the expo booth. We have our recruiter available there to have a conversation. Also, all of our roles, a nice little Schneider Electric hype video. I want to thank all of you for coming to our event today. We're going to continue to keep rolling these out as long as people keep showing up to them. So we're so very excited about where we're going and about all of the wonderful roles and opportunities we have coming up. So thank you guys one more time for your wonderful session, and thank you all for participating. We'll see you all in the expo booth. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Shri. Bye, Justin. Thank you.
Bye, guys.